Okay. Hi there. I'm Chef Lorenzo, and I will be cooking Caribbean bully beef and rice, or corned beef and rice, and some steamed vegetables. A couple of serving suggestions of things that you can do with it. Yeah. So I will begin.
Lovely.
Okay. So traditionally, you'd probably use a Dutch pot. I'm using this pan because it's a little bit lower, which allows you to see inside a bit easier. Okay?
Yeah. So is that a cast iron pot though?
It is a cast iron pan, yeah.
Good. So you get that same depth of flavour? Because for me, again, my mum used to always say that the pot actually seasons the flavour as well.
That's right. And if you look at this pan, it's well seasoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking again.
Mm. Okay, so into the pan, got some onions. Okay, so we've covered onions before. That's your peeled onion, and I've sliced it like so. Okay, so they're in the pan with a marginal amount of oil. There isn't any reason why you can't use coconut oil. Bring a little bit of something extra to the table. So I've got some onions in there. I've got some garlic.
Okay, the connection's really poor, so you are sticking a bit.
Okay.
So just carry on cooking, but just to let the tech know that we are having issues. We can only see a blurred vision of you.
Okay, text looking into it. Some thyme and garlic. See that?
Yeah, we can see that just about. So we've had other comments saying some people, there's one person who says she loves ackee and saltfish and she used to have that on a Christmas morning.
Yeah, yeah, just like me.
We all did.
You know what? I think it's really important where possible to keep some of these traditions alive. I think culture is very important, especially when you are not living in your country of origin. Food is something that helps bring people back together.
Yeah. So we're still having problems. You're back to normal now. Brilliant. So how long would you be doing this in the pan?
Okay, so your onions, about 3 to 4 minutes, yeah, with your garlic and your thyme, yeah? I'm then gonna add some mixed herbs, but again, this is something you can use in a dried format in the absence of mixed herbs. I know my parents, I remember used to seeing thyme hung up in the kitchen,
Yeah.
Just dried, so they would be using a dried version of thyme because they weren't always able to buy fresh thyme every week. So in the interest of replicating that little bit of a dried flavour, I will add some mixed herbs because again, that's something that you would use in the absence of thyme. Can you see in there?
Yeah, that looks lovely.
Okay. Right, so I'm now going to add a little all-purpose seasoning in there, about a teaspoon to a dessert spoon, depending on how much. I'm going to do a couple of tins of corned beef today, but we would use probably a tin when we were growing up. I think it's about, is it about £3 now? More, yeah? So in essence, it would be probably about, how much a portion? Back in the day, probably about £1 a portion. Chicken is £1 a portion now, just to let you know, comparably. Okay. Teaspoon of curry powder.
So is this just normal curry? Oh, this one comes in the pack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's available in the packs that's been provided for you.
But after the program, where can they get that from?
You can get curry powder from most major supermarkets. And again, the recipe is influenced by what was available at the time. And when I was growing up, it was just curry powder. You just cut curry powder, whatever you could get. Now you can have Indian curry powder, Jamaican curry powder. Different countries have their own style of curry. Even different regions of India have different kinds of curry. Right. So, all those ingredients are fried off there now, which look like that. I'm now going to add some tin tomato.
So you're using tin tomato as opposed to fresh tomatoes?
I'm using some tin tomatoes as opposed to fresh tomatoes. You can, if you have them, use fresh tomatoes, or you can use both. Yeah? Last time I did this, I used some cherry tomatoes and tin tomatoes.
I mean, again, this is based on what people had at the time, so maybe tin tomatoes was what was available.
Tin tomatoes are usually always available, and they're cheap as well. It's one of the cheapest tinned items, if not the cheapest tinned item that you can buy. You can find it for as little as 25, 30 pence. So yeah, it does help when managing a budget. Any dish. I mean, we had pilchards, mackerel, corned beef.
Yeah.
All of these are tin tomato based, weren't they, really?
Yeah, they were.
Right, so you've got your tin tomato in there. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's looking lovely already.
So we'll let that heat through. I've got some tomato puree. Now I've got some chilies here.
Yeah.
So do we know what kinds of chilies these are, guys?
Does anybody know?
You don't normally see them in this form. They're normally in a jar or in a tin in brine.
Oh.
Muchos jalapenos. These are fresh jalapenos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah? These you should recognise.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, so these Scotch bonnets.
And they're really fiery. You going to put those in?
I'm not going to put them all in. So
Yeah.
a little tip.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of heat in a Scotch bonnet. You can see the seeds in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have flavour all the way through that, including the seeds. However, there's a lot of extra heat in those seeds.
Yeah.
If I'm interested in getting more flavour from the flesh and less heat, I'm going to remove the seeds.
That's a good tip.
If I was doing a pot of curry goat or something, I'd just put the whole lot in. But if you want to, yes, if you want to use more, have more chili flavour but less heat, remove the seeds.
And again, you can get the Scotch bonnet locally. I mean,
Scotch bonnet, yeah. I
goes.
think supermarkets are carrying it now. So I'm putting half of a Scotch bonnet in there. Yeah, Scotch bonnet you'll be able to get in most supermarkets now, in the fresh herbs and fruit and veg aisle. You definitely get it in Indian shops around the place. Okay, so I put a dessert spoon of tomato puree in there. Now this is going to help richen the sauce, and it's going to help thicken the sauce and stabilise the sauce. I will use a touch of corn flour. But in the absence of corn flour, tomato puree will help thicken your sauce. One of the reasons for doing that, have you ever had a dish with spaghetti or pasta or rice and it's got sauce on the top and you finished eating it and at the bottom it's all watery?
Yeah.
There's water swimming around the plate. Okay, so that's the sauces begin to separate. Okay, so your corn flour, you pull it together so that the sauce remains sauce and a coating consistency. So you manage to enjoy your sauce with your meal and not find it at the end on the plate.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Also, corn flour brings a nice shine to your sauce. Now, this hasn't had any corn flour in yet, but you can see the tomato puree has really started to thicken that up.
Yeah. But just to let you know that you are breaking up again, Chef, okay?
Okay.
So, I mean, these are the complications because we're actually, we're recording live from Chef Lorenzo's kitchen, which is actually a functioning restaurant. So I'm guessing you've got patrons in the restaurant?
There is patrons out there. I mean, previous weeks during the lockdown, it was an empty building, so there was nobody using anything. But unfortunately, the tills are Wi-Fi connected. The PDQ machine is Wi-Fi connected. The cameras that are on the building. So all of these things, because we're in the countryside, it kind of has to be shared out. So it wasn't fast to start with, if that makes sense. Okay.
Have you had a lot of response? Have you had lots of people come into the restaurant since the guidance have relaxed?
I would say last weekend we probably saw about a third of what we would see normally on a Saturday, maybe 50% on a Sunday.
Okay, it's not too bad considering.
No. Well, I mean, I always thought it was going to be a slow increase anyway. Okay, so bit of black pepper sprinkled all over. Okay, and what we're going to do now, when I was growing up, one of the things I used to love about when Mum used to do corned beef, because as a child I loved keys. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So these keys here, I used to have them on a key ring, like a big bunch of keys. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Not much has changed. Shall I show you something? So this is me now as an adult. There was something going on even back then. I wanted responsibility. Even back then, I wanted doors to open. So I used to have these, yeah, on a big key ring, and every time we had corned beef, I used to keep the key.
But it's amazing how the packaging has stayed the same. It's got this awkward key that you have to use to open it.
So if you see that there, so what Mum had to do
Was unravel the thing for you, yeah.
So I could get the key. I'm not recommending that any children do that. Yeah, I'm going to just say it'd be sharp edges.
So you'll lose your fingers.
Please see your parents if you do want to do that, yeah. So you take the top off it there. And here's one I made earlier.
Your classic line.
Yeah, I did love to say that. Okay, so if it doesn't come out on its own, with a little encouragement, then you put your knife in there and just encourage it to come out. See that?
Lovely.
Okay, so then you would slice it into however many portions you were sharing it out with. And my mom used to do this with the soy sauce.
Oh. And that adds a bit more flavour.
Yes, it does. Let me bring this round. Can you see that in there?
Yeah. So that will like, soak up all those lovely flavours and everything.
Yeah, so literally, we just leave that in the pan. And if that was in a Dutch pot, we just put the lid on and pretty much move it to the side. So I'm going to turn that down very low and just let that simmer.
So
Right.
you're going to cook that for how long now whilst it's simmering?
Literally, you don't. I mean, literally 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
The corned beef is already cooked, so you just want it to warm through. I quite like having the portions so you can still see how to serve people, because literally one person would eat one slice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some dumplings.
Ooh.
Right, so we've got some plain flour, sorry, self-raising flour.
So the recipe is in the on the platform, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got the recipes in the what's been sent over. Anything I do extra, I'm more than happy to do additional recipes. I don't think there's one on there for steamed veg, but these are just serving suggestions. You know, you don't have to serve it with dumplings, but as it's the last week, we might as well push the boat out a little bit and do a few little things. Right, so a bit of sugar.
Yeah.
I'm going to make some dumplings here as opposed to festivals. I serve festivals in the restaurant. What's the difference between dumplings and festivals, I hear you ask?
Yeah, go on. So what's the difference?
Okay, so festivals are made with milk. Dumplings are made with water. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, both have cornmeal and flour. Festivals have a higher proportion of cornmeal to flour, self-raising flour. So this is about 75% flour and 25% cornmeal. That's something we call sugar dumpling. Same recipe, just add more sugar.
Yeah, I always just have mine with salt.
Do you?
Mm.
Yeah, you're a bit of a salty bird, though, aren't you?
Well, you know, I was brought up. I'm not going to go into the island chat, but you know, it's like smaller islands have sugar in it, and like Jamaicans just have salt.
Yeah. Yeah, because thank you. Okay, so you have your dry mix. And you'd make a well in the center of the flour. And just gently bringing the dry ingredients until you start to make a bit of a dough. Now, this is something that as a child you could always get involved in once the mixture was made. Yeah, you might be given one to roll for yourself.
Yeah. So like this is like, I mean, all households eat dumplings, don't they?
All households, you know what? Yeah, dumplings kind of goes across the cultures, doesn't it? You've got cream dumplings in the Chinese world. Yeah.
Well, you got a visitor in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Open trading restaurant now, you see.
I know. So you can have dumplings for breakfast, you can have them at lunch.
You can have them fried, you can have them steamed, you can have them boiled.
So basically they go with any recipe. And look how simple it is. Just flour, corn flour and water.
Self-raising flour, cornmeal, water, salt or sugar, or both. Okay, so here's your dumpling dough. Yeah, this is what you can make.
So unfortunately you're breaking up, so we can't see you doing that.
Okay, so I've got a piece of the dumpling mix in my hand and I'm rolling it into a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're coming back slowly, but you're sticking. So how many balls would you get out of this one, this mix?
Okay, I've done 3. I would probably get 8. And that was a very small amount of mix, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you see now?
Yeah, but you're just breaking up. It's very stilted.
Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
We can see the dimple in the dumpling, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so watch out for that dimple, yeah? Watch out for when they're cooked, what happens to that dimple.
So we've had some of our attendees today. So one of them says that she's had fried dumplings which are nice for breakfast, or she's had boiled dumplings in her Saturday soup. I love
That's true.
the Saturday soup.
What's the name for dumplings in Saturday soup? What can we call those sometimes, depending on the shape?
Oh, I used to call the thin ones stringers.
Spinners.
Spinners, that's it. Spinners, that's it.
Spinners. Do you know why they were called spinners?
Why?
I'll show you. So you take a little piece into the soup. So you
Yeah.
literally stand over your soup.
And spin it in, that's it, yeah.
And then drop into your soup like that. Yeah? Spinners.
Yeah. And you see, when you had your soup, you always feel lucky if you've got a dumpling in your bowl.
Okay, so again, traditionally, now these would be fried in a Dutch pot. How many dumplings did I say I'd get out of it?
You said 8, didn't you?
Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
Brilliant. So somebody's asked, is a dumpling like a fried donut?
Okay, if they were related by family, they would be family. Yeah. I have made sweet dumplings and made them into a dessert before now, and I have rolled them in sugar to make them like a dumpling before now. So
yeah. Will you explain, why did you put the indent in? They don't understand, we know.
Okay, well, you'll see when it's cooked, won't you? Yeah, so as it cooks, yeah, it will start to rise. So it will just end up being round instead of pointed, if that makes sense.
So you use the indent marker to know whether it's cooked?
I mean, Mum used to make her dumplings like this, yeah, in her hand like this.
Yeah.
But when you put them in the fryer or in the pan, this hole will just fill as it swells up.
So they're a lot more dense than a donut, I would say.
Say again, sorry.
They're a bit more dense than a donut, though, aren't they?
Yes, but you can see when I make festivals and use milk, it makes it lighter as well. And I add baking powder, which again makes the mixture lighter. If you add baking powder to kind of balance out the amount of cornmeal you put in the dumpling, then you'll get that lightness back. Does that make sense? But your flour is naturally quite light. You know, it's aerated because it's got the a baking powder in it. Your cornmeal is obviously doesn't design to rise, but it's in a product that you want to rise. So by adding additional baking powder, makes the whole item lighter.
No, see, I tend to not like the baking powder. I think it gives a distinct taste that I don't like.
Sorry, what was that?
The baking powder, I never use baking powder because it gives a distinct taste that I don't like.
Okay, so do you use baking powder or do you use bicarbonate of soda? Or?
I don't use it at all. I just use self-raising.
Okay. Maybe you're using too much because I've never really had that trouble. Okay, so looking at, I'll wash my hands. Okay, so you guys should have had your probes this week, huh?
Did you all receive your probes? Just put in the comment section. Nobody's responding. I'm hoping they did get their probes.
Oh, maybe they don't know what it is.
Somebody said yes.
I'll show them a picture. Yes. So this is me. I always carry mine just here. Yeah. So this is my probe. I think yours is black. No, it's not. It's a white one. Okay. Yeah. So you have a stem that extends there, and with this one, as you open it, it powers up. Some of them have a switch on it. Yeah, and you have to put it on. You can choose between Fahrenheit and centigrade. I suggest that you send it on to centigrade because centigrade is what I'm familiar with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're looking for is 82, 84 degrees to make sure your dish is cooked and hot. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in there. That's showing me 94 degrees. So that's plenty cooked up, yeah? Said it wouldn't take long.
Amazing.
I'm going to move some of these things so you've got a better view. Okay, so one of the things I used to have when I was growing up with my corned beef and rice, we used to get marrowfat peas or sweet corn. Or
oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love a marrowfat pea. And again, in tune with this project, all of those ingredients were in the cupboard. You had sweet corn in your cupboard, you had peas in your cupboard. In the absence, I mean, obviously frozen peas and things are quite available now, but back then it was a lot more tin stuff that you were working with. So
absolutely.
Again, yeah. And at the end of the day, maybe you hadn't had a chance to go shopping and you never couldn't afford fresh vegetables.
But marrowfat peas are full of fibre and, you know, good things for you. What's that, Chef?
Okay, so I've got here some rice. Here's some I made earlier. Move that. Got some steamed veg there.
Lovely.
So in that is white cabbage, again something that we used to use a lot of, carrots which are very cheap, fresh thyme, yeah, a little bit of butter, and some green beans. So you steam that down in a pan, a couple of teaspoons of water, a bit of all-purpose seasoning, a bit of garlic, a bit of fresh thyme, a bit of cracked black pepper, yeah, steam it down 5-6 minutes, yeah, with the lid on. All the nutrients that are retained when you're steaming vegetables, you're not in vast amount of water, you're retaining those nutrients and flavours and colours for your dish. Right, so I'm going to show you a couple of presentations. Okay, so version 1, steamed rice, woody beef,
Yeah.
corned beef, steamed vegetables.
Yeah, I mean, we're breaking up, so I can't really see the presentation. Ah, just up a little bit, up a bit. Yeah, that's it. We can see.
Okay,
That's lovely.
put that to one side, and I shall do something else. Okay, so this one,
So this is with the dumplings now.
with the dumplings,
So these would have been fried.
so these have been fried, that's exactly what's happened to them.
That's nice. I've never seen bully beefs and rice look so posh. Well, not rice and dumplings, shall I say. Look so posh. Oh, lovely. That's beautiful.
Have to bear with me because I don't want the food to spill. Can you see?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so can you see that water running away from the sauce there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's no corn flour in that. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put corn flour in the last little bit. So when using corn flour,
So the comments in the chat, everybody likes that presentation with the dumplings.
okay,
Yeah.
so just a bit of corn flour and some water. And we just pour that in.
We've had some really good comments. Everybody says it looks really good.
Thank you.
I'm going to try that presentation. I am for my when I next do bully beef.
Let's see if I can show you what I mean about the sauce. So that sauce now has got corn flour in it. When I tilt
Yeah.
it, the sauce itself moves, but it doesn't separate.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah? Whereas with the other one,
It's running away from it. Yeah,
separate. Can you see?
yeah, that's
Right.
amazing.
That's what corn flour does for you. Okay, so the only bit I can't really involve you guys in is the eating side. So
Oh no!
without further ado, I'm going to serve this up and see what it tastes like.
Lovely. Thank you, Lorenzo. That was fantastic. I don't know if any